A woman's daily routine of feeding wild foxes took a surprising turn when she stumbled upon something startling. Many individuals view foxes as nuisances and pests due to their tendency to rummage through garbage cans and leave a mess in their wake. Foxes are known to dig holes and mark their territory in people's yards, and some may even pose a threat to beloved pets like cats or valuable livestock such as chickens and ducks. As a result, they are often regarded as vermin and pests by many. Nonetheless, one woman's perception of these canines underwent a dramatic shift after a startling discovery. The events of this tale unfolded in 2018 in East Worthy, located in close proximity to Brighton, within the United Kingdom. At the time of this account, Lucy Gocher was 27 years old and had an enduring passion for nature and its many wonders. Despite this, she harbored a sense of wariness toward a particular local animal during her formative years. The creatures in question were orange and white foxes, commonly spotted prowling the streets and nearby yards at night in search of sustenance. My family and I have had fox visitors for years, but like a lot of people, we believe they were dangerous creatures and that they'd be a danger to our cats. Lucy said in an interview, "Along with the obvious dangerous foxes can bring with their sharp teeth and dangerous claws, these canines also potentially carry the risk of rabies. While there was a large drive toward getting rid of fox rabies in the UK through culling and vaccines, there is still the risk that one of these animals could contract the disease and bite a human. However, it's extremely rare, as Lucy's beliefs on foxes being dangerous were quite strong. The young woman made sure to keep her cats locked up at night and shoot away any unwelcome foxes from her yard. This continued for much of her early life. But as the woman continued to observe these creatures, she discovered something entirely new about them. A few years ago, we realized how gentle they really are, she said. Instead of being aggressive and eager to attack any creature smaller than them, Lucy realized that foxes are actually quite a shy bunch who are simply trying to survive in a world that is slowly becoming more and more developed by humans. With woodlands and the animals' natural habitats being destroyed to make way for new houses, buildings, and crops, foxes have had to adapt to their new urban homes. This usually means scavenging through garbage cans, which often annoys people. However, while there are lots who don't like these four-legged canines, there are others who simply see an animal trying to survive. These types of people often like to leave food and water in their yards so that the foxes have something to eat and drink. In fact, this practice is even encouraged by some wildlife officials in order to help the foxes survive. It was 2 years ago that Lucy started doing this as well. At first, the young woman didn't notice the food going down. However, after a couple more nights of putting some cat food out in a bowl, she woke up one morning to see it all gone. Excited Lucy happily put some more food out later that night and stayed up to see what kind of creature was coming for dinner. Sure enough, later that night, a young fox approached Lucy's home and began to tuck into the bowl of food. The young woman was so excited that she couldn't help but watch the animal the entire time that it was there. This routine continued for a couple of weeks until one evening the fox brought 3 others with it. Lucy was ecstatic. She had 4 beautiful foxes visiting her yard on a nightly basis. Over time, Lucy got to know the 4 foxes and had even given them names, albeit quite simple ones, based on their personalities. There was Tappy, the lead vixen, who was known to tap on the patio door when her food bowl was empty. This cheeky little canine was the leader of the group and made sure that they all got their dinner each night. Along with her, there was also the boy one, the shy one, who, much like her name, was rarely seen by Lucy due to how timid she was. And last but not least, there was the mangy one who, despite her name, Lucy insisted, was a picture of perfect health. The 4 regulars come every night, even in rain and snow, said Lucy. The lead vixen Tappy taps on our patio door to let us know she's there and ready for her bowl. 1 or 2 are much shy and hang back on the grass a lot, while the male will boldly come right up. Even if I've got the door open, he's usually the one I get the best pictures of. For a while it was just the foxes who visited Lucy. However, one day the young woman discovered something that shocked her completely. It turned out that news must have gotten out about the free food she provided, and an unexpected guest had decided to take advantage of the woman's generosity. What was this new animal who had decided to come to dinner? It was a little hedgehog. On the first few visits, Lucy watched as the spiky creature would sit back and wait for the foxes to have their fill of the food before making his way over to eat the scraps. However, the hedgehog soon got tired of waiting and decided that he would take matters into his own paws. He marched straight through the assembled foxes and started on a bowl. Lucy said it was terrified they'd attack him, but instead they just looked at him with curiosity like they couldn't believe his boldness, and they left him alone to munch away. From that moment on, the little hedgehog also became a nightly visitor to Lucy's yard, and he made sure to let the foxes know just who the boss was when it came to the food. Luckily, the canines didn't seem to mind too much and let the spiky creature get on with it. The foxes looked bemused and somewhat protective, Lucy said, when the hedgehog, who she decided to name the Hoggo, first started eating the food. However, the young woman realized that all of the animals were fairly happy to mind their own business. It's a sweet relationship, no hostility at all, just a few jealous looks. Sometimes he'll march up to the bowls and claim them for himself, while the foxes just sit and sulk on the lawn. I assume they learned the hard way not to mess with him, Lucy said. Lucy always made sure that there was plenty of food for all of her nighttime animal visitors. However, at first the foxes were quite unsure of interrupting the spiky newcomer during his mealtime. But then something incredible happened. Lucy watched one evening as one of the more friendly foxes, the boy one, decided to make a new friend and approach the Hugo. From that moment on, the fox and the hedgehog would dine together as often as they could. He's very happy to eat beside the hedgehog, Lucy said about the fox. In fact, now it's become a regular thing. The unlikely friendship was one that Lucy was thrilled about. She never knew that two animals who were so different could form such a bond. Although the pair's friendship wasn't just for fun, their open-mindedness toward one another came with some obvious benefits. The friendly fox got to eat before his less accepting friends, and the hedgehog had an ally to ward off other animals who might have wanted to threaten him. I assumed the hedgehog would be in danger, or at least avoid the foxes entirely, Lucy said, but they're united by their mutual love of free and plentiful food, something that can be said for most humans too, I imagine. This entire friendship started, however, all because of one woman's desire to help these animals by giving them some much-needed food and water. It is possible that by following the same practice, you may be surprised by the variety of animals that pay a visit to your yard, depending on your location in the world. However, if you live in close proximity to dangerous animals such as bears, it may not be the most prudent course of action. This remarkable tale serves as a testament to the fact that animals are capable of forming meaningful connections, highlighting the fact that humans are not the only ones who can do so. Whether motivated by the desire for social and emotional interaction, or the simple need to acquire as much food as possible, the existence of such friendships between animals is nothing short of remarkable. Please feel free to share your thoughts on this video in the comments section below. Also like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.